Hello.
Hey everyone. Hello, happy Saturday. Welcome to our last recording of the Attractions podcast for March. And we've already got some folks in the chat. Hi, Michael. I'm so sorry that you missed last week's podcast. If I had missed last week's podcast too,
Hey, you
and
were you weren't there. Where were you, Seth?
we can chat about
Oh
that.
yeah, we'll
I
talk
was
about
uh
that
I was
later.
in Mexico. I had
That's
a
right.
family reunion vacation in Cancun. And I will be mentioning because it kind of ties into one of the things that we're going to talk about this week. But thank you for missing us. Carly is not here. You're just stuck with me and Matt this week. I'm sorry. We'll do our best. Um, Derek, Corner, Blossom, and Terry. Hi, y'all. Good to see you, folks. Eric, I'm sorry, Eric. You need to be uploading some videos. You cannot spare the bandwidth to watch this stream. You need to reserve your internet connection for getting those videos uploaded. Get back to work, please, Eric.
He covered
Love you.
covered Sesame Place for us yesterday, so we're
Yeah,
waiting for those videos.
look for that on our streams very soon. Uh, yes, it's Matt back again. So let's see. We got about a dozen people in the chat. We'll just give it another minute. But yeah, I'm sorry anyone who tuned in last week expecting to see me. But I'm back this week, and hopefully Carly should be back next week, maybe, or is she
I,
need
I
she
don't
got
know.
2 weeks off?
It might be 2 weeks. I'm not
All right.
sure. We'll have to check on that.
Well, she is off having exciting adventures. I know I saw pictures of her at Sesame Place, where Erica's. Samantha, hello. Thank you for joining us this morning. And yes, if you are out in the Universal Studios Hollywood area, go check out the nighttime lights. Now, Hollywood out there used to do the dark arts, but nighttime lights, I got to see nighttime lights at the grand premiere when the grand opening of Universal Hollywood's Wizarding World, but it's not an often occasion in the past, but it looks like it's going to be a regular thing from now on. So go check that out. Yes, thank you, Eric. Keep uploading. Cybercat Zach says, hey y'all, right back at you. All right. Well, we've got almost 20 people, so and hopefully maybe my mom is one of them out there. I know she said she was going to tune in to see how tan I got. So honestly, you can't really tell my tan in this terrible lighting. So I'm
You
I'm
wore a
kind of
white
washed
shirt,
out.
so at least
I'm
you're
white.
you're
Yes,
you're
I'm
more tan than the
white.
shirt.
More tan than the shirt. All right. So let's go ahead and do this thing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take your comment right back off. We'll check in with comments a little bit later. But we're gonna do a quick countdown and let's do this show. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 132 of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by Destinations with Character Travel. I'm Seth,
And I'm Matt.
and we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what is going on in our own lives. Matt, how have you been this past week?
I've been doing good. Had some family issues. I had to go head down to Marco Island for a couple of days and take care of my mother-in-law, and back up here now. And I can't think what I did fun this week. I'm sure I've been to a park or something, but
It's all a blur.
it's all a blur now.
No, I hope
You've been having fun.
I hope she's doing better. Yeah, I followed up my recent trip to Disneyland with a trip to a Club Med in Cancun, Mexico, which is going to tie in a little bit to one of the items we're going to talk about in the news today. I've never been to a Club Med before. It was kind of like a cruise ship on land.
I've
You know,
never done one either.
uh,
How do you like it?
I enjoyed the weather was beautiful. The staff was incredibly friendly. Gorgeous, gorgeous location, right on the beach. Lots of Mexican food. I got to eat ceviche pretty much every single day, so that's a good vacation. And I got a little bit of tan. I did my best to sunscreen and wear long clothes because the sun got a little brutal, and I burned. But did my best to avoid that, but really had a nice time. Got to finish reading a really thick book that I've been working on for a while, and see some family. So that's
So,
always good.
so it's just like a cruise in that all the food is included.
Exactly. Yeah. All the activities. There's some excursions, just like when you're on a cruise, the shore excursions or the spa is extra. But for the most part, all the recreation, the food, and the drinks are all included. And it's nice to just be able to wander around and get whatever you want without having to worry about pulling out your wallet. So
And do they have like shows like a cruise ship
they
would?
oh yeah, oh they had shows. They had some entertainment. But whereas, on a Disney cruise you have professional Broadway quality shows, this was basically the tennis instructor and the chef and the guy who folds the towels at night would become the Michael Jackson impersonator,
Like a
or
talent show.
lip sync to Brit. It was very much like a summer camp talent show.
That's funny.
It had its charms, especially with the unlimited alcohol. That helped. But
Wow.
yeah, Club Med Cancun. I can't say anything bad about it. Had a very nice vacation.
If I can ask one more question,
Absolutely.
how was the travel there to Mexico as far as COVID and what you have to do?
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Going there, absolutely no problem whatsoever. I brought my vaccination cards, and no one at any point ever asked to see them. The only thing is, right now on the way back out of Mexico to re-enter the United States, you have to have a negative COVID antigen test taken within 1 calendar day of your flight. Club Med arranged for us to have one of those and charged us about $30 to get the swab up our nose, which was fine. It was quick and easy, and at the airport it was no problem whatsoever. And I know that they are looking at removing some of those requirements, removing the mask requirements. Still, right now, you do have to wear a face mask the whole time you're in the airport and on the flights. But other than that, the COVID restrictions were not too onerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Well, so I think it is time that, without any further ado, we should get into the news. All right. We have to talk about this, and we're gonna get it out of the way right up top. There was a tragedy this week. You probably heard about it. Definitely made national news. Tragedy at Icon Park. A 14-year-old boy has died after falling out of the Orlando freefall ride at Icon Park on International Drive here in Orlando. It's an investigation is currently underway into how it happened. There are eyewitnesses. There are videos which we are not sharing. I personally am not comfortable watching that video. I've seen some screenshots and read descriptions. You won't find the video itself linked to by us. But there's been plenty of coverage of it. The attraction is a 400-foot tall drop. It is billed as the world's tallest freestanding drop tower. It just opened in January, and you can find video of me and our other reporter riding it during the media day. And I apologize if any of our comments or our nervous joking seems ghoulish now. Obviously, we had no idea that something like that would happen at the time that we record it. Our hearts go out to the family and anyone involved and affected by this. It's really the worst thing that can happen in this industry, and it's really hard to talk about. But yeah, Matt, do you have any thoughts?
A couple of things. He just to note that he didn't fall 400 feet. He
Right.
fell as
Yeah.
the ride dropped and it was breaking at the bottom.
Mhm.
I don't know, what would you say, 30 feet or something like that.
Um,
Um,
I
it's
yeah, like I said, I personally have not watched the video. It was you know, the 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 free fall, from having experienced the ride. It is a very dramatic, high acceleration free fall, and you are stopped by a magnetic braking system. It's not even electromagnetic; it's just pure old fashioned magnets that slow it down. And as you can hear me say in the video when we did it, it really feels like you are almost down on the ground before those brakes kick in. So you've got a huge amount of acceleration, momentum before you get to those brakes. And from what we understand, the ride was not designed with any secondary seatbelt system that connects the over the shoulder restraints to the seat itself. And it looks like the harness maybe was not lowered enough, or not designed enough to lower enough on someone of his body shape.
Yeah, I think
And he
it's important for us to say we have no idea what happened. They're still
no,
investigating. Speculation on our part. What we're talking about now is all
yeah,
speculation. The ride does take you up. You not only rotate as you go up, but at the top you turn towards
hmm
the ground a little bit, and then you drop almost face down. The kid was 14, but when he wasn't your typical 14-year-old, he was 6'5" and I think 340 pounds is what I heard.
Oh,
Um,
I had heard a number above 250. I didn't wasn't
okay,
realize it
I'm
was
not,
that.
and that's
But
speculation as well.
yeah,
We don't know
I have
how,
no idea. But
but he was a big guy, and
significantly larger than me personally. I'm a skinny guy, and I was able to feel secure when I rode it by pulling the restraints all the way down. But from still shots that I have seen of from the video of before it went up into the air, it did look like his restraint was not able to come completely, or did not come. Whether it was able to or not, we don't know. But
yeah, and then
not the way that someone of my size would be able to pull it completely
yeah,
down.
and when you go to ride the ride, the only thing it tells you is how tall you have to be. You have to be taller than a certain ride.
hmm
It doesn't say too tall, but we assume there's some kind of locking mechanism when you put the restraint down that
hmm
tells the ride operators, okay, this can ride, and it really, the ride should not run if it didn't click into that spot. Now
Yes.
that could have failed, and they
hmm
didn't check him, or it locked in and his weight caused it to break open. We don't know, but
Yeah.
based on his size, those are two of the things that we're speculating.
Yeah, and these are things that I'm sure investigators and police detectives, and I'm sure an army of lawyers will be going over for years and years to come. Right now, this attraction is not operating. There are other attractions such as the Wheel at Icon Park that's not owned by the or operated by the same group that operated this attraction, and I believe those other attractions are still operating.
Yeah,
Um,
the Starflyer and the Slingshot are owned by the same company, and I believe those are still operating. I haven't
I
confirmed
I
that.
I did we would have to reconfirm. Things could be changing hourly. I
Right.
did see a post on social media that the Slingshot attraction, owned and operated by this same group, down in Margaritaville and Kissimmee, was not operating today.
Interesting.
I'm not certain if that's related or not. Like I said, there is going to be a lot of reporting, a lot of noise. A lot of people posting opinions that may or may not be informed on social media about it.
And there's one of the things I noticed that some of the news outlets were calling it a theme park, and it is called Icon Park, but it's
Right.
not your typical theme park. It's a shopping center with some rides.
Yes. Yes. It's kind of a cross between a strip mall and a family entertainment center. And in terms of regulations, the big theme parks in Orlando, Disney, Universal, Seaworld, that employ a certain number of people are exempt from certain regulations in terms of state inspections of their rides. But I believe that an attraction of this size is still subject to state regulation and oversight. And obviously, there's gonna, they're gonna be looking at every single aspect of this. So we don't have any real more concrete information to share right now. But like we said, our hearts really go out to the family, everyone affected, and hopefully they can find out what went wrong, and something like this should never happen again to anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Shaking that off, we're going to move into some more fun news. So let's start off with Walt Disney World topping the list of the quote unquote new wonders of the world. All right. So when I was growing up, the great wonders of the world, 7 great wonders of the world, were places like the Great Wall of China, the ancient city of Petra, Machu Picchu, the Colosseum in Rome, the Taj Mahal, as seen in Soarin', Christ Redeemer statue, and funny enough, the day we posted this article, Chichen Itza, which I got to visit the day right after we posted this article, which is an ancient Mayan site in Cancun, in Mexico, and it was kind of amazing because I got to visit it during the spring equinox, which is when this temple is designed to create this pattern of light that comes down the edge of it and illuminates this serpent's head, and creates this mythical snake descending the side of the temple. You only see it a few days of the year, and people were applauding it, and it was. I just happened to be there right at the right time. So forget all that. Who cares about all that? We've got a new list of the 7 wonders of the world, as determined by the most important force in our society in our time, TikTok popularity. So here we go, the new wonders of the world of 2022, and of course, Walt Disney World is on it. Yes.
And this is a survey by Next Vacay, which is a travel agency.
Yes.
And they put together this study. We didn't give it the title of New Wonders of the World. This is something
this is not our personal opinion. This is yes, this is a travel company that surveyed TikTok popularity worldwide. And here we go. Number 1, topping the list, is Walt Disney World with a 8.6. Is that a billion? 8.6 billion TikTok views.
Look how much larger that number is than any other on the list. It's
absolutely
crazy.
Next on the list is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, only 1.9 billion views. And you drop below that, the measly Eiffel Tower in Paris, only 719 million. That's barely, not even a billion views, and that's probably because, as Soren has taught me, the Eiffel Tower is all bent now. It's all curved.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also starring in Soren, the Taj Mahal, in India. You've got the Grand Canyon in Arizona, the Las Vegas Strip in Nevada, Golden Gate Bridge coming in from the original version of Soren, in California, the Hoover Dam in Nevada, Yosemite National Park in California, and finally Stonehenge in England, with a measly 51 million views, bringing up that's number 10. So we've expanded the 7 wonders of the world to 10 wonders of the world. We're all over the place here, but. So basically what we have learned is that unless you are Dubai, you either have to be Disney World or you have to be featured in a Disney ride in order to count on TikTok as a wonder of the world. Are you making this your new bucket list, Matt?
I would like, yeah, I'd love to. I've seen some of these, but not all of them. I don't want to see the Eiffel Tower now that it's bent, but
No.
kidding. It's crazy, like I said, how many more views Disney World. But then when you think about Disney World, you're thinking about, it's not just one place like some of these are. I guess Grand Canyon is larger than Disney World, but when you think of the Eiffel Tower, it's one object that you're taking a photo of. Whereas Disney World, you have multiple places to take photos.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's almost unfair grouping the whole Walt Disney World Resort because I'm sure if you broke it out by park, probably heck, the Cinderella Castle alone, without the rest of Disney World, would probably still top the list.
And I think there's a stat in there, something about Disney World on TikTok has risen 200 and some percent in the last year. I forget what the stats were, but
Yeah, interest in Disney World TikTok soared by 240% in the last 12 months,
wow.
and searches for Disney World Crowd Calendar 2022 increased by 3,695%
Make a
in the
note. We
last
need a
year.
make a note. We need a story on our website that has those words in it.
Absolutely. Yes, and I know a website or two that can help you out with
Yeah,
Disney World
exactly.
crowd calendars. Uh, so, if you want to become, I guess, famous or popular on TikTok, here are your list of places where you need to go and take selfies in front of. Moving right along. Over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, you can celebrate not just Earth Day, but Earth Week from April 18th through April 24th, 2022, coming up in just a few weeks. It's going to celebrate Animal Kingdom's 24th birthday as well as Earth Day. And you're going to be able to experience limited time Wilderness Explorer activities to get a exclusive Earth Day Nature badge, along with Disney character encounters on the Discovery River, a limited edition Earth Day 2022 trading pin, and of course, specialty merchandise and food throughout the park.
Yeah, those cupcakes look good. I know they've had
Mm.
that bee cupcake for a
That
while,
I
so I don't know
The
that
bee
that's.
cupcake I've seen before, but that flamingo cupcake is too adorable to eat.
Yeah.
I might need to get one of those.
I don't know. A lot of this stuff is like kind of plussing up what they already have. It's not a huge event, I wouldn't say, but if you're there and nearby, it's fun to check out some of the stuff they're doing.
Hmm. I got to say, Brian has a comment. Earth Day at Disney's Animal Kingdom isn't the same without Joe Road, and I can't disagree. I was there on opening day of Animal Kingdom. I was there on the 10th anniversary, the 15th and the 20th, I think, and got to see him and Jane Goodall also made appearances at several of those. The famous
Yep.
primate researcher, and to me, the two of those folks are really Animal Kingdom. And yeah, it's not the same without Joe, but you can head over to Conservation Station to sketch some Disney animal characters and also get some new exclusive magic shots with Disney and Pixar characters, including Wall-E. That magic shot with Wall-E and
Yeah.
Eve looks great.
At first, I was thinking, what does Wally have to do with Earth Day? But then I realized the
He's
plant
all
that he takes
he's
care
all
of.
about saving the planet and restoring the
That's right.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you are thinking of taking a trip to Animal Kingdom, April 18th through 24th is a perfect time to do it. But you're going to want to head and get those park reservations soon because, gosh knows, it's hard to get those.
Yep. Thanks for the reminder. I need to do that.
Yep. I got to do that as soon as we get off this call. All right. And next up, Disney H2O Glow After Hours Party is returning to Typhoon Lagoon. Summertime Bash After Hours Private Party at Walt Disney World's Typhoon Lagoon is coming back starting on March 29th. Tickets are going on sale next week, and this is going to run on Saturday nights after hours through the summer. In celebration of the 50th anniversary, you're going to be able to find special vibrant decor, family-friendly DJ parties, exclusive food and beverages. You even get free soft drinks and popcorn. And it's happening with low wait times for all of your favorite Typhoon Lagoon attractions, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on select Saturday nights in the summer.
And did you say how much it costs?
The tickets cost $75 for guests age 10 and up. If you're under ages 3 through 9, it's only 70. There is a discounted ticket for annual pass holders and DVC members, $59 or $54 for the kids, and all that is plus tax.
That's a pretty good deal for if you consider the other after hours that they have in the
Mhm.
park, where you get the unlimited snacks and drinks.
Yep.
They're 100 or $200. So
Yep.
this is just a slightly over what a day at the park would, the water park would cost you.
Yeah.
So
Now, granted,
good
you
deal.
are only getting 3 hours, 8 to 11 p.m.
Okay.
I will point out that they are also doing a private version of this on select Friday nights for the GLBTQ plus community, um, and that party only costs $5 more, but that runs until 2 a.m.
Hmm.
So it's interesting that some of their unadvertised private parties are a better deal than the ones that they sell direct to the public. But
Yeah,
if you want,
I think that event is part of Gay Days.
it's what used to be called Gay Days back
Have
in the
they
day.
changed it?
Now it's called One Mighty Weekend. There was
Okay.
a
But I was just
rebranding,
gonna
but
I was gonna
yes,
say I don't
that's what is colloquially known as Gay Days.
okay. But I don't know if you have to then pay a fee to go to that event and then pay that a fee to go to
No,
there or
they actually they sell those tickets separately
oh,
and
good.
direct.
Okay.
So if
Well,
you
that's a good
are
option.
if you're part of that community, go look into that Friday night event because you're basically getting the same sort of thing but more hours and internationally known DJs instead of kind of a generic Disney house DJ.
And
So
I don't think you even have to be part of the community if you just want
yep,
to attend it, you
absolutely,
can. So,
absolutely, yeah.
but
Um,
if you're not going to be there those dates, this event on its own is pretty cool as well. So, like you say, only 3 hours, but
mhm.
and with no lines, you
No
can pretty
lines,
much
you get
get
a
a lot of
lot of
slides done.
laps on Crush and Gusher in 3
Yep.
hours for sure. And you can actually, even though the party starts at 8, you actually can get into the park 2 hours before it
That's
closes
good.
to the normal guests at 6 o'clock. So you
Have
get
you
a
been
little
to
extra
this
time that
event?
way. I have personally not attended an after hours event at Typhoon
I
Lagoon.
have not either.
But I have friends who have been to similar events, and they've always had a fabulous time.
Nice.
So check out DisneyWorld.com if you want more information on that. All right, so we have got our first look at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique's new makeover on the Disney Wish cruise ship. And along with the new boutique that's coming to the new ship, we are also getting some new makeover options on fleet wide at all of the Disney cruise ships. Kids who are aged 3 through 12 are going to be able to visit the new Storybook Salon created by Disney Imagineering just for the Disney Wish when it starts sailing on June 9th.
And the three looks are Little Mermaid and Captain Minnie, and is it Captain Mickey as well?
Yes, Captain Minnie, Captain Mickey, or Ariel. They're new makeover options where you get an outfit, you get your hair, you get your nails, and it will all be done inside on the Wish in this elegant atmosphere that has been inspired by Cinderella. And if you can't get a booking on the Wish, you'll also be able to purchase these new looks on the other Disney cruise ships.
It's interesting. Captain Minnie wears pants, but the Captain Minnie makeover, they have the little girl in a dress. So I guess maybe you can choose.
Yes, I think if Minnie wants to wear pants, if Mickey wants to wear a tutu, I think it's all good.
Yep.
I will point out though that the description talks about Ariel having fins instead of feet, but I clearly see that they did not remove this girl's legs and replace them with
No,
scales.
no.
So yeah, you're gonna have to go to. There are places that make very realistic prosthetic mermaid tails. So you're gonna have to go and buy that optionally at home after
And
your cruise.
and you get to keep your voice too. You don't have to give that
Yes,
up.
yeah. It's just not authentic enough. I want more immersive. All right. Well, if that appeals to you or your little ones, be sure to hit up disneycruise.com or visit Destinations with Character Travel, and they can help you plan that cruise. Next up, Disneyland Paris has announced a makeover with enhancements for Disney Village. The resort is celebrating its 30th anniversary, and the resort has shared its first look at a multi-year transformation coming to the Disney Village retail, dining, and entertainment complex, which will include new dining options, refresh shopping, and new entertainment options.
Yeah, that's if you haven't been, it's Disney Springs essentially, or Downtown Disney version of Disneyland Paris. And the two parks at Disneyland Paris are next to each other. But if you exit that and head towards their hotels, you go through this Disney Village. Um, and Quinn was recently at Disneyland Paris earlier this year, and I asked him, "What do you think about this plan? Is it needed?" And he's like, "Yes, very, very needed." So I don't think it's changed much since it opened.
Yeah, boy, it's coming up on 10 years since I've been there, and it was feeling a little dated. It very much felt like the old Downtown Disney West Side kind of that entertainment architecture of the early mid 90s, from the Eisner era, that everything was kind of big and bold and gaudy, and starting to show a little wear. You know, I think it's interesting, the concept art we have got for this. We do know that there's going to be some new offerings, including a lakeside park and boardwalk, enhanced pedestrian walkways, brand new facades, terraces and patios, and landscaping. But the concept art is pretty vague and pretty generic. You look at this image, there's nothing there that jumps out and says this is Disneyland. It doesn't even jump out and say Paris. That could be a shot from Disney Springs or from the makeover that's coming to Disneyland in Anaheim, their downtown Disney district. And I guess this is kind of the modern Disney. It looks kind of like a nice outdoor shopping mall that could be anywhere in the world.
Yep.
It's a lot of modern, clean lines and subtle colors, and no giant Mickey ears shoved in your face.
And I don't think this village, unlike Disney Springs, I don't think it has a backstory. I don't think there's some kind of story to why this village is here.
The days of your Pleasure Island kind of thing, where everything has a character, everything has a history, everything is telling a story. If there's a story, it's an awfully subtle one here.
Yeah.
But the new Disney Village in 2023 will be getting a new restaurant, the Rosely French Brasserie. And I totally mangled that pronunciation. It's going to replace the current Cafe Mickey restaurant, and it will celebrate classic French cuisine, highlighting regional diversity and product seasonality. You're also going to be able to get French bakery-inspired takeaway options like pastries and sandwiches. So that sounds pretty yummy. That will be one of the first elements of this transformation coming next year.
It looks a little like Disney Springs Starbucks.
It's got the green roof. Yes, absolutely, green roof and earthy textures, and I think that's going to be the mode of Disney design architecture, at least in their shopping dining complexes, for the next decade or two, until maybe the pendulum will swing back and people will decide they want places that look like Disney again.
Yep.
So, well, next up, SeaWorld Orlando is expanding its manatee critical care facility. This is something that is very badly needed. SeaWorld Orlando has announced plans to add 3 new pools to its manatee care facility, doubling the size of it, giving it the largest capacity in Florida and the United States. This was announced recently during a VIP press conference, and they are doing it to help to increase their capacity so they can accommodate more than 60 manatees in need. There are a lot of manatees right now. There's been horrible conditions for them, especially on the East Coast. It's a combination of a lot of environmental factors, but there have been a lot of manatees in distress, and hopefully this will help them save some more of them.
Yeah, when you say East Coast, I think you mean East Coast of Florida, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's red tide is what it's commonly known as, and it just kills the manatees and makes the beaches stink. And I don't think anybody's figured out exactly what causes it, but
Yeah.
we know that some of the chemical runoffs from different businesses has made it worse.
Yeah, factors include fertilizing on people's lawns and also leaky septic systems that a lot of
Yeah,
people along the coast are not connected to a normal sewer system. And that increases the nutrients in the water, which causes algae to block out the light. And then the seagrasses that the manatees depend on doesn't have enough light in order to grow. So it's become a vicious cycle. So the manatees don't have enough food. They've gotten so desperate as to start throwing them heads of romaine lettuce. And they wildlife people tell you never feed animals in the wild, but they've gotten so desperately starving that they are starting to have to do that. They're calling this a UME, an unusual mortality event. It's big news here in Florida. And so the new pools are going to be operational this July. The whole project is supposed to be done next year. So far they've rehabilitated over 800 manatees at SeaWorld over the years, and hopefully they'll be able to do a lot more thanks to this program.
Yeah, and if you head to SeaWorld, this isn't behind the scenes. You can go to this area and see these manatees. I know there's
Mhm.
like I think two pools right there. I don't know
Yep.
if the new pools will be accessible to guests, but
Yep.
but you can at least see some of the pools if you go to this area. And they do feed them heads of lettuce in the pools to rehabilitate them, and
Yeah.
you can watch them do that. And there's always a SeaWorld employee team member nearby to answer any questions you have about them.
I know a lot of people, myself included, have legitimate issues with some of the things SeaWorld has done in the past, in the present, regarding marine mammals. But there's no way. I mean, this is just if SeaWorld wasn't doing this, there might not be anyone who would do it. And these manatees don't really have a lot of options right now. So thank you, SeaWorld, for helping out. Next up, DC Universe themed area is coming to Six Flags in Great America. The DC Universe comic book inspired shops, restaurants, and attractions are finally going to have their own themed area at Six Flags Great America, which is located in Chicago. And that area is going to open up on April 15th.
Yeah, that's I guess it's mostly a retheme of another area. So some of the rides are not going to be brand new rides, but just rethemed to DC characters that and restaurants are rethemed as well. But I think it's a cool idea. It's I haven't been to all the Six Flags. I didn't know. I thought they all had some kind of DC area, but I guess not.
I did too. Over the years, they've kind of shuffled them around. They've changed the names from time to time. But this particular version is going to be taking over what was called Yankee Harbor. And there are 3 rides there that are there currently that are just getting some new paint and new names. There's a launch coaster there that's going to be called now the Flash Vertical Velocity. There's a flume ride that's now called Aquaman Splashdown, and a flat ride that's a swinging 360-degree swing ride that's going to be called the DC Villains Swing. On top of that, this area was also home to Batman the Ride, which is the classic B&M inverted coaster, as well as the Joker Free Fly coaster. I think that's a SNS 4D flipping coaster, I think.
I'm not sure.
So here's the thing. They released just a few pieces of concept art. And to me, this concept art actually looks like maybe someone just got a copy of Roller Coaster Tycoon for the first time and was playing with some clip art. It's not the graceful, evocative concept art you see from a
Yeah.
Disney or Universal.
When
It's
they
pretty
say
bare bones.
when they say they're going to retheme a log flume to Aquaman, it doesn't mean there's going to be animatronics of
Oh,
Aquaman
no,
along
no,
the
no, no, no.
side. It just means some signs.
You're not going to see Jason Momoa animatronic talking to you. No. You've got flat cardboard cutouts and a paint and what looks like just a lot of concrete. Here's my one concern. I- this is this piece of art in particular shows Batman the Ride, and if you go and watch a video that we posted, it's a few years old, but there's a front row POV of this same attraction, and in our video it is surrounded by mature trees. This park was one of the most Six Flags parks are basically known for having a lot of roller coasters basically in a parking lot, a lot of asphalt, not a lot of foliage. And this was one of the few Six Flags parks that really had a lot of mature trees. If you watch this video, you can see the attraction really winds in and out of the forest, which really helps its theming, what little theming there is. Now you take a look at what they depict here, and maybe it's just like I said, them using Roller Coaster Tycoon and not finding the add tree feature. But this looks pretty barren and does not look like a fun place to be to me on a hot day.
I can't imagine
Not
that
a
they
lot of
would cut the
shade.
trees down.
I
I think
hope
it's
not.
what you
I
said. I
hope
think
not.
it's just a design. Here, design this area. Don't
Yeah.
design the background. Just leave it blue
So
sky. But
So I don't know if we have a reporter who's out in the Chicago area. If you are listening, you're going to go and check out this place when it opens up on April 15th. Please send us some pictures and let us know if there's still any trees. All right. Speaking of trees, spring is in bloom at Disneyland Resort, which is a perfect time for the Eggstravaganza 2022, which is starting on March 31st. There are 3 different Easter egg scavenger hunts that you can enjoy this year at Disneyland from the 31st all the way through April 17th. And you can pick them up at select merchandise locations. It's only $9.99 plus tax per map. 3 different ones, one for Disneyland Park, one for Disney California Adventure, one for Downtown Disney District, so you don't even need a park ticket. And you get a prize even if you don't successfully complete it. All you have to do is hand it back in.
yep. And then if you've ever done any of the hunts at Epcot, and in fact, Epcot has an egg hunt most of the time. If you've done that, that's what this is. Just one in each park, and like you said, one in downtown Disney, which is nice. And like those, you don't even have to do the hunt. You get a prize at the end. It might be a little plastic egg with a Disney design on it. But if you want, you could just buy the map and then turn it right back in and get the prize. You don't even have to do the hunt. But that's the fun of it, is going to do the hunts.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way it works is you basically you get a map and then you get a bunch of stickers, and the map will show you vaguely where an egg is located, and then you go that area, look around until you find it, and then you have to find the sticker that matches the image on that egg and put it in the right place on the map. It's fun for kids. It's also kind of fun for adults. It encourages you to get your head up off of your cell phone and look around and maybe notice some architecture and stuff that you hadn't noticed in the parks before. So that is going on at Disneyland Resort, and you can find a link on our website with more details and information. Finally, we're going to wrap up news in the queue this week with Epcot's Connection Cafe, because we have some new marquees, we've got some new concept art, and we got some information about Starbucks coming to the upcoming restaurant at Epcot. This is the new Connections Cafe, which is right near the Creations Shop, which opened not too long ago. And thanks to Imagineer Zach Ridley, we've got some new details about the upcoming restaurant.
Yeah, it's interesting that Starbucks is going to be located in here. I saw something called the Creations, or not Creations. Get the two mixed up. They're too similar. Connections
Connections.
Cafe, and then there's the Connections Eatery, which I think is inside the cafe. So it almost seems like there'll be different stations. Like you can go to the Connections Eatery and get your food, then go to Starbucks and get your drink, or of course I have drinks both places. But and then the cafe itself is the whole area where you can choose your seat. And I think you can see part of a mural in one of the concept art there, and
Yep.
So there's gonna be a huge mural on the wall. And something that's not in this story that he just released on Instagram is part of the floor is going to be the old Epcot map that Walt Disney. You can see if you go in Walt Disney Presents, you can see him presenting this large Epcot map of the original Epcot. So
Yes,
they've taken that design and kind of made it into part of the flooring there. So that'll be cool.
And it shares a lot of design similarities with the Creations shop. These natural wood and these light colors. Hopefully, the crowd flow will be better through there, and that the floor surface will not become as kind of funky as the old carpeting in the Electric Umbrella. Electric Umbrella was one of those kind of love it or hate it places. It was one of the first quick service restaurants in Disney World to have soda dispensers. I remember back in the day when you could finally get soda refills there. That was a big deal. But one thing to note is if you have been used to going to the Travelers Cafe, which has been the temporary Starbucks location near where World Showcase and Future World, or what used to be Future World, meet, that location is going to close this spring to make way for the new location.
And if you've been to Epcot this past week, the new walkway is open, which takes you right in front of both the cafe and the store here. So you don't have to walk around past where the Guardians ride's going anymore.
Yes. Previously, if you can see on the video, my little pointer, you would have to go behind where guest relations was and along the side pathway past Guardians of the Galaxy's new location. But now that pathway is blocked off as they finish up construction on that attraction. We can finally walk around through the kind of past the central spine of Epcot on the east side, which we haven't been able to do for quite a while. Brian has a good point. Zach Ridley, yes, is becoming he's kind of taking over for Joe's obsession. Joe Rohde used to be great at pointing out little architectural details like flooring, and I guess Zach has now taken up that mantle. They better hold on to him because he's really the only celebrity Imagineer that they've got right now.
And if you're interested in that, the fact of him kind of taking over for Joe, we have a story on our website. If you just search Zach's name, that kind of, we kind of speculate that Disney has handpicked Zach to kind of take over for Joe Rohde. But I remember Zach when the Club Cool reopened, he was pointing out how the flooring has bits of Coke bottle in it. So that was his first post about a floor.
All right. Well, that takes care of all of the news in the queue. Before we get to this week's main attraction, I think it's time for us to hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Here at Destinations with Character Travel, we offer the best experience with your travels. Need to visit the thrilling Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World? Maybe lounge about on a Disney cruise or any other major cruise line? No problem. So if you're looking for a stress and hassle-free vacation, visit us at www.destinationswithcharacter.com. Contact us today and let us plan a magical vacation for you and your family.
It's time for the main attraction.
All right, for this week's main attraction, Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando is set for a record-breaking run in 2022. Halloween Horror Night fans are nothing if not eager to hear every year, every bit of details in advance of the event. And we finally have the dates for Halloween Horror Nights 2022 will be running at Universal Orlando 43 evenings, starting on September 2nd and running through October 31st. It's going to include 10 new haunted houses, 5 scare zones, 2 live shows, and you can buy tickets right now at universalorlando.com.
Yep. So it's starting a full 2 months before Halloween.
Mhm.
That's
That's
crazy.
it's boy, I remember back in the day in the late 90s when I worked for Universal and I was a Halloween Horror Nights supervisor, and it only went for a couple dozen nights, and less than half of this, and we were exhausted. I cannot imagine working this event for 43 evenings. My thoughts and prayers with all of the team members who make this event happen. It gets bigger every year. Michael is saying what I think a lot of people are feeling. Let's go, Halloween Horror Nights. Now we have not gotten yet any. I keep trying to hide, and it keeps
Sorry.
coming back.
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay. We love Michael's enthusiasm. Yeah, so we have not gotten any official announcement this year of what will be part of Halloween Horror Nights exactly. There are speculation maps out there and clues and hints. If you are part of if you're part of the following, you've probably heard that while Universal has not announced it, the musical act The Weekend or The Weekend, I don't know how you pronounce it, with that vowel missing at the end, but The Weekend, who has a lot of horror themed imagery in his videos. He has implied that he is going to be part of Halloween Horror Nights. A lot of other speculation. The things that I found interesting in the announcement are, one, that they say that 10 houses are going to be all new. So last year we had some repeats, some houses that were reused from the Halloween Horror Nights light year when COVID kind of canceled stuff. So this year it's all new stuff. Obviously, it's going to be a mix of intellectual properties and also original houses, though we don't know exactly what the mix will be. But I also thought it was interesting that there's going to be 2 live shows. Now, last year they had 2 live shows, one of which was the Marathon of Mayhem fountain show in the lagoon, which could easily happen again. But
Right.
the other show was the Halloween Horror Nightmare Fuel. I think I got that name a little bit wrong, but the Nightmare Fuel dance show with pyrotechnics, which was held in the Fear Factor Live Stadium, where Bill and Ted used to be held. Now, there was permits to demolish that stadium for a new project. Looks like that project is on hold or maybe canceled. All sorts of rumors about where they could put a second show. Maybe it could still go back into Fear Factor. Maybe it could go into Animal Actors. Maybe it could go into the Blue Man Group show. Who knows?
Yeah. If I had to guess, I'd say those are the 2 shows again this year with the new versions, and that it'd probably be back in the same theater, because as far as I can tell from the outside, it doesn't look like
like
done
anything is been going on demolition wise over at the Fear Factor Stadium. Also, let's speculate if there are going to be 10 mazes. Traditionally, they've been using one of those mazes inside Shrek 4D. Shrek 4D is definitely a work in progress. There's construction walls all around it. We think that's going to become a new Minions attraction. The building's definitely at least being gutted. And we think that when the new attraction is done, there will be space in the future to have Halloween Horror Nights mazes in there. But will they be able to do that while it's under construction? That seems doubtful. Where could they put another maze in the park
Well,
right now?
I've heard rumors that there may be one coming to the Fast and Furious queue.
Yes, yes. This really fascinates me. There's some permits that indicate that we're going to see a Halloween Horror Nights maze inside the Fear Factor, or I'm sorry, inside the Fast and the Furious attraction, uh, using the queue and possibly even the attraction ride path itself.
Interesting.
That's a speculation. I don't know. Maybe not a lot of people remember this, but way back in the 90s, one year they put a Halloween Horror Nights maze themed after the video game Nightmare Creatures inside Confrontation. You walked along the floor of Confrontation underneath the ride path for the tram vehicles. It was a really unique experience. And if they could do something like that, where you get to walk through the show where normally you would drive those party buses,
Yeah,
that would probably be the best use of the Fast and Furious building that it's
yeah,
had since that opened.
especially the last part where it's just that long tunnel with video screens on each side. If they could put
Yep.
some other kind of horror video on those
Yep.
screens and you walk through like a tunnel.
Yes. Brian is saying that I am not crazy. We did get a permit for Fear and Factor Live for Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know if we know exactly
Not Fear
what part of the building.
Factor,
I'm
Fast
sorry,
and
Fast and
Furious.
Furious. I,
Yeah.
you know, I keep FF. And they're honestly, they're both Fear Factor and Fast and Furious are my two least favorite Universal Studios Florida attractions. So they just sort of merged together in my brain. In fact, if there was a ride where Dom Toretto rode on a drone while eating bugs and throwing eels at you, that's the only way it could be a worse attraction in my book.
And I think some speculation on one of the houses isn't the Netflix show Blind Manor as well.
The sequel to Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, I know that was speculated in the past. I've also heard, is it Fear Street?
Yeah, I've heard that
That's
one.
the anthology
Although
film
I heard
series.
that
I've
might have
heard that
been
rumor.
canceled, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
a lot of things floating around there. Obviously, I think there's a good chance that we'll see something tied to the classic monsters
Mhm.
return, because those have been popular. I would personally love to see something based on Halloween again, especially the new
Mm.
Halloween
Oh, yeah.
films. For years, I know fans have wanted to see something based on Scream. Came very close to a Scream house years ago with the new Scream movie out this year. This would have been a great year for it, but I personally I don't follow all of the clues and hints and people speculating in too much depth. But if you go out there on social media, you can find maps and people putting things together. So. If you are really into all this stuff, you might also want to know that RIP tours are going to be available, both the group ones and the private ones. Plus the Unmasking the Horror tour. That's the daytime horror tour where you get to go through the mazes with one of the designers or with information about the designs during the day with the lights on. Both great experiences. If you want more about any of this, HalloweenHorrorNights.com. They've even got packages with hotel rooms. And as always, Destinations with Character Travel can help you plan your Orlando visit. All right. Well, that just about wraps it up and brings us to the end of yet another show. Before we go, I do want to thank once again our sponsor, Destinations with Character Travel. I also want to remind everyone to please go ahead and give us a review on Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating on Spotify. Finally, if you want to find more coverage from us and Attractions Magazine on the interwebs, you can find me, Seth, at the UG Series on Twitter, at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram, and at theunofficialguides.com. Matt, where can they find you and Attractions Magazine?
You can find Attractions at @Attractions on Twitter and TikTok, and @Attractions Magazine on YouTube and Facebook. and also Instagram. And then myself, you can find me at Matt Boom on Twitter and at Attractions Matt on Instagram.
Awesome. And until next week, I hope that all you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.